What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at the Premier League team of the season. We're going to be going to the tier list with the SBC that's out in St. Max. Obviously we have the objectives that can't be accessed till Monday, but we are running through all of them. So if we do take Matomo and obviously Paulinho as the first two, they technically can't be played, so we are looking at cards that are very similar, but then also just taking a stab in the dark with them. Nobody's got them, nobody's used them, but I am very happy that we've got them. The Craft of Glory objective, absolute fire. The fact that you get Matomo himself, then you get another one for completing it, which is just grinding anyway. Big dub in my opinion. Matomo, very much like Rashford, like Son, like Martinelli, very similar in great pace, dribbling's very high, and then obviously the shooting's coming in a little bit less, which you could expect. He's not necessarily going to be in the same level for a free card, but I do think if you are struggling for a left mid, left wing, he's going to be a great option. He's a 92 rated team of the season. We also then have a super sub if we really wanted to. If you've got your left wing, he's going to have that pace. So I'm absolutely buzzing for him. I think he, for me, is going to be one of them top cards. And to be honest, a lot of these Prem cards are very well received. Paulinho, again, not a bad DM. Another 91, which for me, objectives, any 90 and above, they really went out the boat because they do everything to not give you a team of the season. And I've just thought of one player that I haven't added in. Are you tired of using players like this? I would much rather have teams more like this. Then I recommend going over to skycoach.gg for all of your coaching and coins needs. They are cheap, fast and reliable, but at the checkout, make sure you are using code JT11 for a discount on your orders. Back to the video. And if you can guess that card, let me know down below in the comments. There we go. Paulinho is the 91 though. So like I say, any time they give us anything over 90, it's incredible. I do think for me, 80 pace, he's got the defending physical. I'd probably go with the A for him because, again, they're not going to give us players that are going to solidify in a team. Maybe if you're starting the game brand new, if you're just coming into team of the season, then yes, they may be better than your average gold cards, a few informs or a couple of specials. But if you've got your Zidans, your Xabi Alonso's, your Turams, your Verratti Centurion, or somebody at that level, he's only going to be so much better. And that, again, is going to be just because he is free. We have obviously got a very good DM in obviously Bruno Gomes. Again, very similar in terms of stats, and this is where you've got to always check the in-games, because even though you've got the 97 physical, how much does it do in a game? How much do you genuinely get? Is the dribbling 93 to 84, is that going to have a massive impact? We've got 5 better passing, we've got 9 better we've got 9 better passing, 5 better pace. There's always going to be a big difference in a card. Then you go down to body types, you go down to nations, if you wanted links and chemistry, all of that jazz, then obviously that's going to have a massive impact on what a card actually presents itself in game. But I do think Bruno Gomes, even though I was a bit gutted from the upgrade, I do get it because they are trying to make it a year-long cycle. They're not going for just splunk your load at team of the season, get your 18, 98s, 97s, 99s. They're going for, we get shapeshifters after potentially. We get a lot more 95s, 94s, 96s, footies. Then we get a lot of 97s to 99s. And then before you know it, we're at EAFC 24. Then we go into, again, probably the greatest striker in the Premier League at the moment, and I think it's very much not debatable. Haaland is 100% that S. Breaking records left, right and centre. This card himself is just absolutely nuts. He's got a weak foot upgrade from his team of the year, so you definitely want this version in comparison, and he is coming in at a whopping 7.3 mil. Alongside him, also at 7.3 mil, is our man Rashford. Insane pairing. Honestly, if we manage to get any of these, I'd be over the moon because they are going to be unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And unfortunately, I already have had the troll in Odegaard. Unfortunately, there is 2 Norwegian team of the seasons, which honestly couldn't come at a worse time because you want Haaland so badly. And Odegaard, unfortunately, a great centre mid, good stats throughout, but unfortunately, he's not the Norwegian player you want, and honestly, you wouldn't really battle between Norwegians, but Haaland is that good. Odegaard in himself, to be honest, not terrible. He is kind of in that middle zone that he's a nice cam, but he's not necessarily the greatest. He's got the good pace and the dribbling, but in terms of a balanced formation, I just have no place for him. We've already got Zidane in the team. He is more of my centre mid that goes forward. Odegaard isn't as good as him, unfortunately. Even though, yes, he can do a little bit of business in a Prem team, when you open it up to everybody into your FUT Champs team, he's not even making the bench at this point, unfortunately. And it's a shame because I do think he definitely deserved a bigger upgrade than, from an 89 or a 90 to a 92. It's just not enough in my opinion. We then go on to Casemiro, who has had a fantastic upgrade again in terms of what we actually like from him. He has got a 92, but in comparison from the man of the match to this version, it is a 16 pace upgrade. Obviously, his team of the year did have a good pace upgrade as well, but even that was only 76 compared to the 84 we've got now. He is a wonderful, wonderful card. And I think as a DM, impeccable. Do I think he's at that S level? I think you could argue. I definitely think you could argue. In terms of CDMs from obviously the Prem team of the season, then yes, he's one of the better ones by a landslide. But in terms of CDMs of what we've got, you're looking at the difference between a Yaya Toure, a Patrick Vieira, Matthias obviously is very good at that DM role. We then go a bit further down to a Conte SBC. He's going to come up against a lot of these. And to be honest, the question is, would you play him? I would personally go over Xabi Alonso for him. So for me, I do think he is in that S. Little bit biased at the same time, but I do think this guy is that good. The pace increase is exactly what we wanted from him, and he's already got that defending physical boost, which is again is even better at the same time. Another defender that is in the S category, Ruben Diaz, looks an absolute monster. We've got two of them that I definitely want this week in Ruben Diaz and Varane. Both of them are scary defenders. We've already got your Lucios, your Maldinis, your Virgil team of the years. We've added another set of defenders that can go into your team. Nearly 90 pace between both of them. 97 defended and physical on Diaz. 95 and 93 on Varane. They are going to be a pain in the rear. I can tell you that for a fact. Saliba, unfortunately, didn't necessarily get the upgrade that I wanted. But I still think he's an S defender. I genuinely think he is impeccable. We've used his fantasy foot as his 90, so any upgrade on top of that is beautiful. He's got the pace, he's got the defending physical that works really well. Go with an anchor and you are absolutely laughing with him. They are just incredible defenders. They naturally are. If then we look at KDB, again, I'm a bit disappointed this year with KDB. I don't know what it is. I like his team of the year, so this card is very similar, but in terms of his playability, he's just not been there for me. Yes, we haven't packed him, so it's not as if we're going to go buy him. He's currently coming in at 2.4 mil, so obviously he's at a price level. Of course he is. But in terms of what we actually expect from him, whenever I've used, well, for instance, when I used his team of the year, I expect what I've remembered from previous years, and it's just not been at that same level. I do still think he is a top card. It is just my personal opinion from playing with Team of the Year KDB, Team of the Season KDB, and obviously the award winner of 99. For so many years now, he's just not been on the level that I was kind of expecting. But people will still say he's incredible. The one card that I absolutely love this year, or at least love from this week, is Harry Kane. This guy is incredible in front of goal. I don't feel like he's well, do I? Because he's a funny one. Because he's so cheap, it just doesn't feel right putting him in S. But if you've seen the review of him, the goals were flying left, right and centre. The pace at times has issues, but most definitely still very, very top end with that pace. Dribbling wise was good, not amazing. And passing and assisting play was fantastic, as well as the physicality being incredible as well. He is an all-round striker, does have his limits. He's not necessarily going to do everything that Haaland's going to do, but in terms of the finishing, that is where I'm personally basing my opinion with him, because that is absolutely phenomenal. If I was going for the category, I think I've got to go A+, because yes, in the Prem, it's quite easy to think, well, there's only 3 strikers or 4 strikers. You're not necessarily going to put him under an Ollie Watkins. It's not happening. But in terms of R9, Eusebio, Mbappe, all of that, of course he's going under there. He's a good player, but he's not at that sort of level. So we're keeping it A+, but I do think most definitely this year, if you've not tried him out, he is an absolutely outrageous card if you've actually tried him out. And if we move the camera down here, because we are going to put in, I believe, one of our final S's in, obviously, our man Son. 94 rated. This guy is incredible, and he could be a striker. I've always liked Son as a striker, but I do see where people want to go with a left wing still. He's got the pace, the finishing's great, the dribbling's great, passing wise is very good as well. He's an all-round nice card, and only coming in at 800,000 coins, which I think for me isn't terrible. I would always expect a Son card, especially a team of the season variety, to be way over 1 million coins. So it's interesting to see where he's kind of going with that. And I have seen him packed quite a few times this weekend already. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get ourselves a Sonny baby, because that would be impeccable. Then we move on to Saka. I've already said it in many videos. I am very disappointed with EA with how they've done with this Arsenal team, because all of them have not had an upgrade. It's not even just one. Saka only got to a 93. Salah's a 96. Understand Salah obviously is a 93 already, so he can't necessarily go up too much more, or he can't go up too much less. Saka definitely deserves more. Ramsdale a 90. I know he's gone up +5, but keepers don't matter. You could have easily made him 93, 94. Zinchenko already has a 90, he's now gone to a 92. Saliba has a 90, now gone to a 92. Odegaard, with one of the best seasons he's ever had, gone from like an 89 or a 90 to 92 as well. I just don't get it. And even Martinelli is just staring me in the face. 91 to 93. Again, it is for longevity, but it is annoying that, like, for instance, a Rashford's gone from an 88 to a 95. Obviously, then we look at anybody else with a big upgrade. I think Kane's gone from a 92 to a 95, I suppose. So it is one of them things, but it is just very annoying that some of the, like, Saka's season has been impeccable, way better than Salah's. So if you're going to put somebody at a 96, 97, Saka's got to be up there with the best of them. He's having that sort of season. With him in the game, though, we've managed to pack him untradeable, and he has been a beautiful signing into the club, because he is a magician down that wing. If you've used his Team of the Year honourable, it is exactly the same. The pace is absolutely outstanding. The finishing is really nice. Not necessarily on the same level of a Rashford or someone like a Son, but very clinical still. But the dribbling, the agility side of stuff is brilliant from him. I am going to keep him in the A+, as I do think wingers, Jarzinho, Best, Garincha, they are different in certain aspects how you use them, but they are necessarily better than Saka in some aspects. If then we move on to the SBC, the one and only one we've got so far, we are waiting for Havertz, Laporte, and I want to say there was somebody else, but I cannot remember for the last one. But St. Max is the SBC so far, obviously coming out yesterday, and he's currently coming in at 745,000 coins. We have got a lot of upgrades coming very soon, so it's going to be interesting to see whether you're going to get that done or not. But a 5-star, 4-star, incredible pace. Yes, he doesn't necessarily have the same shooting as some of the left wings, but if you are struggling, you maybe need a French left wing, this is going to be a great shout for him. I do think he is a little bit less than Rashford, and probably more than likely Son as well, to be fair. His main attribute is going to be like Saka, it's going to be the pace. The pace, the agility, that is going to be where he kind of really hits the nail on the head. But he's going to fall down at the all-round compass of being the left wing that can shoot, that can pass, that can cross, that can pace, that can do absolutely everything at the top level. And that is the difference between, what, 700k SBC and 7.3 million card. If then we look at Salah, again, he's going to be another S tier quite easily. He is phenomenal in himself, 96 rated from the 93. He is just, again, that good. I always like the team of the season Salah. Very hard to get, but always impeccable. Great pace, dribbling's fire, he's got the cutting onto the left foot. He's never been bad as a team of the season, and hopefully we do see some 99s going into footers as well, because that's where the game really gets interesting with some of them ratings. We then have Martinelli. We've got a lot of wingers, it seems. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Have we got any more down here? 7 wingers. Wow. Okay. Martinelli going from the 91 to the 93. There is very little difference. And I think that is the problem with some of these team of the seasons. Yes, the price might be 100k, 200k more. So it's not necessarily you're breaking the bank for them, but it's only a double inform or one inform at some point. So it is a bit annoying that you've got a 93 that, yes, you're getting the brand new card, the dynamic, the all that, compared to the road to the final, which again is still a very good card. So you've got very little comparison of a big jump up from him. He's still very pacey. His dribbling's very good, most definitely. And then again, we've got a bit of a watered down shooting, passing, physicality side of stuff. Even though I do think he does get down that wing nicely, he's very much like Saka on the other side. He's not necessarily the best, but he will give you a very top sort of level. And then we're down to the final 5. We'll get Ramsdale out the way. Personally for me, keepers, they're so hit and miss. And I think Ramsdale was always an okay one. He was never necessarily in the top end of stuff. I think for me, I would go A+ as a nice safe bargaining with him. There, like I said, with keepers, you look at the keeper tier list we've done. We've got people saying Czech's really good, Czech's really bad. Casillas really good, Casillas really bad. Yashin's incredible, Yashin can't catch a cold. There is so many different opinions, so I'm going to put him safe in the middle. He's not going to be the top category because he's not going to be at the same level as Van der Sar, in my opinion. Straight off the bat, I don't think there's going to be many keepers, unless they are 99 rated, juiced, absolutely crazy off their rockers. They're not going to be better than Van der Sar. I'm just putting that out there. If then we look at the objective, in fact, in our man Ollie Watkins, like I said, they do not like giving you 90 rated cards. We got Joe Linton last week as an 89, and this week we have got the 89 Watkins. Again, looks a good card though. 4-star, 5-star, so already you've got a very nice skill move weak foot there. Pace-wise, it's just the acceleration that needs that boost at 85. We've got 95 finishing on him. The composure's at 88, 94 agility. He really isn't that bad of a card, to be honest. Head and accuracy at 98, and obviously the strength is coming in at 93 as well. Honestly, as a free card, I'm going to put him as the A+ just in general. And I think a lot of the Prem team of the season are at that sort of level. Like, they have to be. They are Prem team of the season. This is where they boost a lot of the cards we know. Then we look at a Trippier, 92 rated. Again, not an awful card, but I was expecting a little bit better from him, to be honest. I thought he might have just tipped the boat out a little bit. We managed to get an 88 in form as the last card. He did have an 87 Winter Wild card. Obviously, this card is, I think, one of the cheapest. Ramsdale being 42, Trippier being 97, which is just crazy in itself. 90 pace, which is always good. The 81 physical is what's really putting me off. 72 strength. I think he's a nice right back, but would I say he's in that top sort of end? If we do look at right backs, obviously you're looking at your kind of Hakimis, you're looking at your Carlos Albertos, your Carfus, your Walkers. I don't see him in that sort of level. Again, there isn't necessarily a massive boost for what right backs we do use. I feel like everybody has a specific untradeable that they've managed to get, so it isn't necessarily that it's just him that is terrible or he just doesn't fit the mold. I do think he's quite good in terms of the kind of right wing back sort of style, but it'd be interesting to see the comparison obviously between him and also somebody like a Reece James, because Reece James has got himself a moment. If we put Zinchenko up here so we can kind of see it all, we obviously have 90 pace for him. If we can move them together, that would be even better. We have 90 pace, both of them. Shooting wise, I'm not too fussed. Passing wise, Trippier wins. Dribbling wise, James wins. Very close on the defending, and obviously James brings the physicality side of it out of him. Obviously, in terms of skill moves, we've got a 3-star, 4-star for Trippier, and then for Reece James, we've got a 3-star, 3-star. So Trippier wins again. Very, very close in what you've got. Both English right wing backs. I believe Trippier can go to a right wing back. I wouldn't see why not. But again, I wouldn't see why not and why. He could be a right mid, in fact, as well. Right wing back or right back. And James could be a right back or right wing back. I do think both of them are very similar. They may offer different in terms of height, maybe. 5'10 for James, 5'8 for Trippier. It's going to add the physicality bonus really onto James. So it depends on how you defend. If you play a 5-back, both of them will feel exactly the same. There won't be much difference between them. Then we have Zinchenko. And again, I do think Zinchenko is probably coming up into the A+ as well. In terms of left back in the Prem, the only person that for me would have beat him, well, now we've got a Robertson who is at the same sort of level, would have been Cancelo. Cancelo's team of the year, team of the seasons over the past few years have always been fantastic. So I think that person would have been the only one that would have said, yeah, this is going to be the team of the season for the Prem, and he's going to be incredible. Zinchenko, nice upgrade for him, but most definitely nothing too special from him. And that's going to be the list. So obviously we didn't go with any Bs today, but that is going to be the list for the team of the season for the Prem. Let me know down below your opinions. Make sure you like and subscribe on this, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.